You've got to love VW for living up to its name, the people's car. Now, I'm not in any Polo Vivo, but rather I'm in the new Polo Vivo Mswenko, which simply means swag. And that is why today we are in the Maboneng precinct to see if this car lives up to its name. So what's changed with the Vivo Mswenko? Well, first and foremost, you've got quite a funky interior in the car. That's the one thing that really stands out. The moment you get into this vehicle, you can notice that this is not a standard Vivo. And looking at what other people have said about this car, I'm guessing a lot of people like it. For me personally, I do like a more subtle interior, but this blue, white and grey does actually quite work. A few people have commented that this car looks very nice on the inside. Besides that, another addition in this vehicle is the outside decals in this car, which say Mswenko. Again, when you're playing with stickers, you need to be very careful because a car can look very kitsch very quickly. Thankfully, this is not the case with this vehicle. Under the hood, I have got the 1.4 litre normally aspirated 4-cylinder engine, and it produces 63 kilowatts and 132 newton meters of torque. Now, a little thing I must admit on my side, when I first drove this car and I gave it some beans, I thought that this was the 1.6 Vivo because I was quite surprised by how effortless it was getting around town, and I'm quite impressed by the fact that this is actually the 1.4. Nowadays, you know, we're so used to turbocharged cars, we're used to the Polo TSIs, so naturally you'd think you need a turbocharger to get around the city quite quickly. But this car proves that this is not the case, because at the end of the day, these are lightweight vehicles, so you don't need tons of power to get them around, because at the end of the day, more power, bigger engine means more expense. And that's one thing VW have been quite good about when it comes to this car. It retails for under 250,000 Rand. Which again is why a VW Polo Vivo is so popular, because it's affordable on the pocket and at the same time it's quite cool. And that is why this brand can get away with calling a car a Mswenko, because it does represent the people. It represents South Africa. Of course I'm going to be there. All right. Yo, dude, I need to go. I'll film you now. I'll phone you now. Okay, cheers. Sorry about that, guys. So now you may be wondering why we came all the way to the Maboneng precinct. It's very simple. This has always been a place that attracts the most vibrant and coolest and most eccentric people out there. And that's exactly like the Polo Vivo that we're driving today. It's all about image, it's all about Mswenko, and it's about swag. And that is exactly why we brought the Polo Vivo here, because it is a car that attracts the movers and shakers. Speaking about moving and shaking, I need to take this. Hey bro, how's it going? So, does the Polo Vivo work in this concrete jungle that we live in? Well, again, as we mentioned, this car is already a very popular vehicle in South Africa, so of course it's going to work. It kind of reminds me of the days of the City Golf, where you got all these special editions, such as the City Deco, the City Rocks, and even the Velocity. So one can actually say that the Polo Vivo has replaced those vehicles. I don't know if the Vivo is as cool as a City Golf yet, but who knows, maybe with time it's going to become a future classic. Whilst we talk about the City Golf, it's funny how times have changed. Here we are today in an entry-level vehicle, and it's got reverse camera, it's got electric windows, it's got a touchscreen infotainment system with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So it's amazing how so much has changed, but obviously for the better. The consumer who's going to be getting into their first car today has got so much more technology and safety when it comes to their needs. It's been a while since I've been in a vehicle such as this, and it's amazing how you can quickly forget how nice a Vivo is to drive. There's something about driving a car in this segment. It's almost like you can forget what you're doing and simply think about your day and the meeting that you need to get to, or your lover, or whatever. But that's the nature of these vehicles. As city cars, they need not to be cumbersome on the road. And this car is very comfortable. The clutch is easy to use, the gears change very easily, and the overall ride comfort is very good for a car in this class. So after spending the day in the Maboneng precinct, I can definitely say that the new Vivo Mswenko works in this environment. If it's not broken, don't fix it. And that's exactly what VW has done with this car. They've simply put in a new interior and some decals on the side just to give it a bit more swag. And I can definitely say that the car does have Mswenko.